What's going on, Odooers, and welcome back. Change is inevitable, as we all know, and when the relentless march of time means it's time to change your product manufacturing practices, many people in different roles need to weigh in on that process. With Odoo PLM, designating whose approval is needed for an engineering change order, or ECO, is integrated into every step of the process. Here at Stealthywood, we use approvals at every stage of the ECO process to make sure we have all the buy-ins from all stakeholders. So enough chit chat, let me dive into the database and show you how this is done. So we're starting off here in the PLM app, and we're going to use this product improvement card. And we'll click into it by clicking this one engineering changes button. And once we click into that, that takes us to our pipeline for making changes to existing products. Now I want to add a new approver to the research stage right here. And that's to make sure that we've looked at all of our options before going ahead with a plan of action. Approvals are configured in the ECO stages, so we'll hover over Research here and click this Settings cogwheel, and then click Edit. So here in the Approvals section, you can click Add a Line and add your approver here. And as you can see, I've typed in Research and Development. I've added myself, and the approval type is currently set to Is Required to Approve. Here we also have two more other options. We have comments only and approves, but approval is optional. But like I said, we're going to stick with the is required to approve. And once this is all good, we can just click Save and Close. For those two other approval types, if you're not Odooers, we'll be covering them soon. We can also add as many approvers as we need for all types of any stages, but we can also see our stages and approvers all at once by clicking on Configuration followed by ECO Stages. And here in the search bar, we're going to hit this drop down, and in the Group By section, we're just going to add types. Then we can expand on something like, let's say, the product improvement. And here we can see all the stages for this pipeline. Here at Stealthywood, we keep things fast and efficient and only involve our stakeholders at the exact stage of where their sign-off is necessary. Here I can see and edit all of the stages, as well as all the different roles that will be approving or rejecting this ECO as we take the idea to existence. Okay, now that we have it all set up, let's see that approval pipeline in action with our table. So I'm going to click Overview here at the top. Then in the product improvement card, we're just going to click this one engineering changes button once again. So let's start on that ECO that we were configuring earlier. And it's time to put on my R&D hat. I've heard some sentiments from customers that this table could have a more durable finish. Now, if you want to learn more about how to actually make changes to that bill of materials, feel free to check out our engineering change orders video, which of course I've linked down below. So we're going to click into this ECO right here. And let's start by clicking into the Approvals tab. And on this tab, I can see that I, Head of Research and Development, need to approve our plan. Now, if I were a normal engineer, I'd have to wait for the R&D lead to approve this. But since I am the head of this department, I can go ahead and click this Approve button. Now, I'm just going to move this to the testing stage of our pipeline, which brings it forward. Now, I'm going to ask you to suspend your belief, Odooers. I am now Nathan, leader of the quality team, and I'll put my QA hat on now to prove it. So I'm ready to get out my forks, knives, heavy boots, and hot coffee out to put on the new table finish just so we can test it. And the new table looks shiny as the day we finished it, so I'm definitely going to click Approve. Now, some of you Odooers may have noticed that the Approved By field here shows me twice. And that did happen, but for demonstration purposes, Nathan from R&D is no relation to me, but I hear he's a really cool guy. Moving forward, Mitchell Admin here needs some approval for our testing stage. So Mitchell is under the type Approves, but the approval is optional. Because his approval is optional, we can move forward without it, but the ECO would be blocked if Mitchell rejected the changes. In a way, approves, but the approval is optional is the same thing as reject only. We don't need any user testing for this change, so I can go ahead and move this to our validation stage. Okay, now I can put on my product manager hat and become the Stealthy Wood product manager, so I have the final say on whether these changes should be approved or not. It also looks like Mitchell from marketing is listed here, but he has the comments only approval type, which means he can't approve or reject this ECO. However, he was notified as soon as this ECO made it to this stage here. And that's so we can start preparing on marketing's end, such as taking pictures for our new e-commerce site. Now, if I click reject because I think this new varnish is too shiny for our Stealthy Wood brand, I would click this ECO breadcrumb right here, which would take us back to our Kanban view. Then I would drag and drop this ECO back into the research stage. But I'm going to bring this back to validation because I actually love it, and I will approve it and send it to preparation. Every rejection can turn into an approval once we make the necessary changes. Finally, as the production supervisor, I take this time to make sure everything is ready on the manufacturing floor for this change. I've checked all the pending orders and the inventory, and I approve. Now we're ready to make this ECO effective. So there you have it, Odooers. All we have to do now is apply the changes, but I'm not going to do that because you saw that in our other ECO video. So today we navigated planning a change that affects many aspects of Stealthy Wood manufacturing and made sure to involve all stakeholders in the process. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, keep it locked.